Tighten up your business harness, folks. It's time for the Badcast Newscast.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. We are Bad News Media. You got Reklis here, and then there's Kenny and Tim as well. We're trying out this thing. It's kind of a podcast. It's something we're not sure exactly what it's going to be, but you can watch it on YouTube or listen to it somewhere else probably. So we're figuring it out. So it's a Badcast Newscast. That's what we're calling it because we're Bad News Media. Welcome, Kenny, Tim. Anything you want to say before we dive in?
Hi.
Yeah, there's no news in this newscast. It's just
there might be. We don't know what we're going to talk about.
That's
exactly
true. There could be news involved.
Hey, that's news to me. There we go.
All right, we got it.
And we already know it's not going to be very good. So
yeah, exactly.
There's the Badcast.
There's some truth to it.
Yeah. Right. Yep. The name is fitting. That's what we'd say. We're going to dive in. Let's just get started. Let's do our first segment that we named about 5 minutes ago. So this segment is called, You Know What I Like? When we're each going to talk about one thing that we like that we want to share with the other two of us and the rest of you, whoever's listening. So I'm going to kick it off. So you know what I like? I like Oh yeah, let's do a call and response. I like it. Let's do this. Yeah. You know what I like?
What do you like, Reklis?
I like IFC Commons. So Carrboro just had this big new building built downtown. It's for IFC, the Interfaith Council for Social Service. It's where my wife Stephanie works. And they just opened their new building. It's called IFC Commons. They had a virtual event on Thursday night for it. And it's a pretty awesome new space. I got to walk through it, which is cool. They didn't get to do a grand opening the way they wanted because of COVID, and everybody knows that deal. But it's a great new space, and it's really going to be good for bringing a lot of the services for people in need to one location and kind of bring a lot more dignity to those services as well. The community market is like a kind of set up like a regular grocery store, so people can go decide what they need to eat as opposed to have someone just put a bunch of things in a bag and give it to them, and that's just what they have to make do with. I think it's going to be really good for Carrboro Chapel Hill. It serves both places, but that's really cool. And since we're in Carrboro and that's where Bad News Media is based out of, I thought that would be a cool thing to talk about for the first one. So that's what I like.
Excellent.
Cool, man. Yeah. That's news and not bad.
There you go. Yeah. Cool. Kenny, your turn.
I've been so my
what do you like?
Yeah,
Kenny?
sorry. So Kenny, what do you like?
My 9-month-old is finally kind of, at least in the early evenings, sleeping pretty predictably. So I've been able to watch movies again, and I've been watching David Cronenberg films, especially Scanners. I watched that again, and I forgot how good it was. It's a cool story. It's told very well. The lead actor, I'd say, when he has a lot of dialogue, isn't the strongest performance. Michael Ironside in it is amazing. The head exploding part is one of the best things ever captured on film. Just such a good movie. Really like David. Videodrome and Dead Ringers are two of my favorite movies of all time, but Scanners is up there as well. And I've been trying to watch all of his movies this month, so I'll keep you updated on another one next time. But good stuff.
Very cool. Very cool.
That's what Kenny likes.
Yeah, that's what Kenny likes. So Tim, what do you like?
Oh yeah, speaking of Dead Ringers, we still haven't watched that, but we're going to watch that soon. And thanks again for that.
Of course.
You know what I like?
What do you like,
Tim?
I like Helen.
Yeah.
Helen is my former girlfriend and now fiance.
Upgrade. Yeah.
It's like what my daughter Lucy always likes to say these days. She goes, "Daddy, I don't like it. I love it." About literally everything. Yeah. Same energy here.
But yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You
yes,
just
congrats. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep, just Tuesday, 4-something days ago.
Yeah.
The inauguration eve. No, nothing planned there, but yeah, we're up on our ski trip. Went to Snowshoe Mountain. It was Helen's first time, and it was nice. She first time like ever being on snow on like any kind of slippery thing, she did really well. And Tuesday was the second and last day that we were skiing, and she got she was doing really well. And we went on the beginner slope for the first time, like off the bunny slope. It was a little more scary for her going on with like, because there was like the drop off on the side of the slope as opposed to like being protected in your little bowl on the bunny slope. So it was a bit nerve wracking for her. So she was kind of reeling and dealing with that afterwards. And that's like, we were walking around, and that's when I popped the question. So it's a nice little surprise for her when she was kind of dealing with some inner turmoil with the skiing. So yeah, that's what I like. I like Helen. I love Helen.
I thought you were going to say that you arranged it to where you got on the exact right chair on the ski lift. You were like, what's this? Oh, yeah. It's ring.
I did do that, though, because we were like looking at this nice little graphic that they had shining like in the middle of the village. And I just kind of dropped it in the snow behind me. And then I turned around and was like, what's that? And she was like, I don't know, someone's like engagement ring. And I was like,
he said, yeah, you're correct.
Yeah,
it is someone's.
Hopefully it is
Someone
going
you
to be
know.
someone's. Yeah.
Someone you know, in fact, yes.
I was like, check it out, open it. Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Well, congrats. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for you. This is great news.
Thanks.
This is breaking completely from the bad news portion of the thing. We're doing great news, great cast newscast. But this leads us into the next segment we're going to do. So one thing we want to do on the show is kind of just like share pieces of things that we're working on creatively. We don't have a name for it.
That aren't necessarily short or feature films, but
right. Yeah, we've done films before. This is like kind of stuff that's either in progress, or in this case, this is a kind of fully produced piece, but it wasn't for anything particular. Tim just created this music piece, and he created it with Helen. So we thought this is a great time to showcase that. So Tim, do you want to tell us about what this piece is and what it's called, and give a little intro, and then we'll listen to it?
Yeah, sure thing. So yeah, this is my Good News Musecast. Ooh, how about that?
I like it. Let's go for it.
So this is a song. So we did this on our first year anniversary last year, October 11th, and it was kind of impromptu. We were just kind of thinking of what to do. We didn't really have any plans or ability to do a lot of things in these COVID times. So this was one of the fun activities we decided to do that day, which was to record a song. We hadn't ever done anything like that before. And I mean, we've done some musical things and singing together. So I just thought this would be a nice thing to do. It was, because it was a song that I wrote a couple of years ago, where it had some 4-part harmonies in it, just kind of like a gospel sounding thing. And I was like, hey, Ellen's got a beautiful voice, and I need some other parts for this, and this would be something fun for us to work on. So it's called A Year of Love, and it's got Helen and me singing, and we did a bunch of layers over it, and now we'll show it to you.
Beautiful. I love that. That's great.
Very nice.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Voices sounded great.
Yeah. I'm picturing you and Helen in the snow at the snowy village, and that song coming on at the climax of the romantic comedy that is just ending, and you giving her the ring. This is
Happy ending. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Very good.
And then you got a life full of sequels coming up.
There you go.
That's right.
Yep. So yeah, just a fun thing, pretty simple, just like same part 3 times. And then I did have some other ideas recently, just the other day, that might come as other additions to this. So we'll see. Yeah,
awesome,
excellent.
man. That's really good. I'm sure everyone listening liked that because it was beautiful. Very, very cool. Awesome. So now we're going to do a little piece of housekeeping. We've got to take care of our sponsors. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Advice.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners are like us. Reklis and I are getting older, and well, let's just say Tim's social security number only has 3 digits in it. I have kids, we all have jobs and responsibilities, and don't have time to keep up with all the trends of young people like TikTok. But the fine folks at TalkBox have you covered. Every month in the mail, you get a DVD of all the best TikToks. No more trying to navigate a pesky website to find out what Zoomer communists or preteen influencers are up to. You can watch them in a legacy format you already kind of know how to use. Also, each box includes a detailed set of instructions for which buttons to press on your remote to switch on your DVD player. So if you can't remember your email login, no matter how many times your kids remind you, or to paraphrase Mark from Peep Show, if you minimize a window on the computer you think it's gone forever, TalkBox is for you. TalkBox, TikToks in your mailbox.
All right, welcome back to the Badcast Newscast. We're going to jump into our next segment here, which we are going to deliver you a Hot Judge Sundae. This is where we're going to do a little judging. We're going to have a review to give you guys. Each of us are picking an item or thing to review. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off here. I'm going to review having just a little bit of coffee left in the pot, which I love. So this morning I had a pot of coffee. I've got just one of those little 5-cup things. It's kind of perfect for me. It's like 2.5 cups of coffee total. I really enjoy it. I love when I've got just a little bit of coffee in my cup, but it's gotten just a little cooler than I want to. And I go back and there's just enough coffee left in the pot to fill it up and re-warm it up to the perfect temperature. And it's like ready to drink. So I'm going to give having a little bit of coffee left in the pot, I'm going to give that 5 out of 5 Juan Valdez's.
Beautiful.
Brilliant.
That's really nice. That is a very good thing, a good part of life.
Yeah. Kenny, what are you Hot Judge Sundaeing?
So my wife and my 4-year-old daughter set up our some bird feeders this week. So we've got one kind of regular bird feeder full of seeds, and then a bunch of, the pine cones, a pipe cleaner, peanut butter, and bird seed. And so we've had some good birds, had a beautiful Fatboy red cardinal, but also, and this may be a hot take, as the kids say, but I actually think the female cardinals are very beautiful. They're gray, but they have a little bit of red, but those beaks are beautiful orange. And just when we were starting to record, I saw one over here. So I would give that bird 4 out of 5 bags of bird seed. 11 out of 10 would not let my cat eat.
Nice. Is a fat boy an official term for cardinals?
That's what he was. I saw a fat bird on campus the other day where I work.
You said it.
That was a round
terminology.
I mean, it may very well be.
I'm gonna
in future episodes, we'll check out the Tim dictionary, and it may very well be in there.
Right. Fantastic. I love it, Kenny. Tim, what's your review on? What are you Hot Judge Sundaeing?
All right, so I'm gonna Hot Judge Sundae some dives, and we're not going to see these dives. We're just going to hear them, and so we're just going to hear some. We're going to hear some dives, and then I'm gonna give them a rating. All right, so here go those dive sounds. I'm gonna give that first one 4 out of 5 cannonballs, because that was a cannonball, not a dive. So I'm going to give those dives 7 out of 8 cannonballs, distributed equally among those 3. That one gets a 1. And that dive is a 17 out of 5.
Now, see, as a connoisseur of dives,
Yes, Kenny.
I'm pretty sure that was Greg Louganis at the 1988 Summer Olympics. Recognize that one? Yes, I agree with your 17 out of 5.
Was Greg Louganis a diver?
Right. Yeah.
Greg Louganis, yes.
Well, I thought he was a swimmer. Was he?
Yeah,
that was actually the backflip.
He's the great American diver.
That was
What
the
are
one
you
where he hit
talking
his
about?
head.
I don't know. That was when he hit his head?
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, so that's correct. That was the one where he hit his head on the platform and still landed and got a 17 out of 5. You believe that?
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here, folks.
And that one I'm going to leave for the audience to judge, and we'll just leave it right there.
Yeah, that is a personal Hot Judge Sundae being delivered to you to participate in. Eat that Hot Judge Sundae up. Enjoy it. That's awesome. Great work, guys. Well, that basically wraps up the show. We've got one more thing that we're going to have to kind of take you out, but that'll be at the end of the show. I want to say thank you to anyone who is listening or watching or partaking in this Badcast Newscast. Thank you so much for joining us. Kenny, any final thoughts you want to give us?
No. Bye.
Good. Cool. Tim, anything you want to say before we jump into the last segment?
Thank you, and good night.
Awesome. So we are going to finish up the show here with a segment called The Untold History of Carrboro. And Tim is going to read us this story, and we will see you next time on the Badcast Newscast.
On a crisp fall day in 1972, Monica Mellowsworth was walking home from Carrboro Elementary School. As she neared the corner of Main and Fidelity, she accidentally kicked a small rock that bounced down the sidewalk and around the corner to Fidelity. She turned the corner as a car stopped at the intersection and honked. It was her Uncle Andy. She smiled and waved while walking, and accidentally kicked the rock again. Oop, she said to herself. Continuing her stroll, she came upon the rock. Why not, she thought. Kicked it again, and again, and again. Next thing she knew, that rock was rolling like a tumbleweed in an old western. She looked up and saw Joe's hot dog stand go by. Cassidy from the cleaners. Barry Burke lady waved from his front porch, cheering her on. Keep kicking, darling. 3 friends from school on swings at a park playground yelled to her to come play, but she was too focused. Almost a mile it had been by now, and Monica had no time for playtime. She pushed on. 1 kick, 2 kicks, 3 kicks, a hypnotizing cadence. She couldn't believe what was about to happen. On the horizon, she saw the stop sign at the end of Fidelity. She was close. She broke into a run, and in stride with a great force, she swung her foot into that rock. Whiff! Oh no, would you believe it? She missed the rock. But it was still rolling, and Monica was determined. So she quickly circled back and with all her heart and soul sent that rock a good 50 feet down the road. But she had to catch it before it stopped now, so she ran as fast as she could. Gave it another mighty whack. With a fierce command, she continued moving that rock down Fidelity. She passed many folks, many familiar faces, but noticed nearly nothing. That is, nothing other than her task at hand. Until at last, in a heated sweat, and nearly with tears in her eyes, she gave one final swoop down into that rock and ushered it across the plane of that stop sign into the T-section of Fidelity and Davy. Monica followed the rock, jumping up and slapping that stop sign as if to give it a high five. Then, just before the rock came to a stop, for good measure, she gave it one more good kick, bounced it all the way across Davy and into a patch of overgrown grass. Walking up to the patch with a smile on her face, Monica fished out that rock and picked it up. She gave it a quick look and a toss up and back into her hand, slid it into her pocket, and skipped along on home. And that's how pet rocks were born.
Hello?
Bad news.